Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, one of the rulers of Hell, specifically Manga Hell. And today we will be reacting to the newest chapter of Eden Zero, chapter 158, The Madness of a Man Who Knows No Love. Seems kind of a contradictory title, but I'm guessing madness is supposed to explain everything. So yeah, now some of you may be asking why I'm doing a Eden Zero reaction since I didn't really do it beforehand, and I even asked if I should do it, and no one has really said I should. Well, that's simple because some of my followers, some of my informants, you may say, told me that apparently there's a very despicable villain in this series who will go into one of the deeper levels of Manga Hell. Which, in case you're wondering, there's 13 levels of Hell in Manga Hell. So, due to my job, I think it's only right that I investigate to make sure this person really is going to be one of the top people in there. So, with that explanation out of the way, let's get into this reaction already, shall we? So, the first thing we see in this chapter is a drawing of, I'm guessing, all the chibi characters like Happy, the pink drone. I'm guessing Maria's slime form. I'm not sure if there's any other slime individual, and that snowman, as well as a fifth one in Super Saiyan posing. You know, like the Power Rangers and type of stuff. Or the Germa if you're a One Piece fan. Which, considering this channel, you'll probably more likely know them from there. And yeah, it's pretty classic stuff. But anyways, let's get into the actual chapter. Princess. As well, I'm guessing we have a character who is, to my chagrin, another form of villain. It always fills me with hatred when I see a villain turn into a hero. And then we see her reacting. Oh no, actually it's just him continues. How are you here? I heard you were dead. As the princess, in response with, your princess is dead. I'm an imperial soldier now. Which is a very classic. Oh, technically, the princess you knew was correct. She is that. Because I'm now a soldier. So yeah. Now we see her using her fat Eden's ability to go around him and run him in her strengths. Supposedly this is used against a man instead of a woman. Man, for a change. So usually this is like one of those things that a woman has to fight against. And then he goes on the ground. And then he tries to counterattack with his water ability. And it does seem to like push her back or something, but it seems to be very minimal. And then we see the terrible representation of a villain be like, you betrayed us? You betrayed Oasis? Your friends? And she responds with, says the man who ran out on all of us. Which is true, dude. You have no right to speak to her. The only difference is the fact you went to some other villain and she stayed and followed the man they were fighting against. And then, oh, by the way, you know that drone that the sister has around? He's on the ground, still unconscious. I guess he's out for this arc. And then we have him continue, all I cared about back then was power, so I went to the Sakura Cosmos in search of something stronger. I didn't think Oasis would ever beat Nero. They're all idealistic talk and now action. So I guess he's trying to explain why he abandoned them and went to work for another villain. And he's like, and I made up my mind to take down Nero, even if it meant becoming the vilest scum in all the cosmos. Dude, you're nowhere near that level. You're not even going to the hell. If anything, you're going to level 1. Which, do not ask what is level 1. And then we see her face, and then we have him continuing. I left the organization, but my principles never changed. Defeating Nero is my one and only goal. And then she responds with, but because the Empire killed your best friend, I remember that's why you joined Oasis. As he quickly responds with sending a bunch of water towards her. Which maybe it's because Black Clover, but this actually doesn't look all that impressive comparatively. Like, this is literally just a giant water trune. Not even like giant, it's more like you're in a lake or something, honestly. And then we have him respond with, they killed the old boss to the Empire, killed your father! And she uses those strings to block it. And send another the group of strings to right at him, and it hits him directly, almost at the heart actually. And then she responds with that fact, being like, "What about it?" And then we have him respond with, "Princess, what happened to you?" And she says, "The red string of destiny, huh?" And I guess we're gonna get a bit of a flashback to a bit of our history and to explain what this actually means. And then, hey Laguna, this is what the princess says to Laguna. Do you believe in the red string of destiny? And then he responds with, I don't know. Well, I do. I believe somewhere in the wide cosmos of the man is the man of my destiny, tied to me by invisible thread. If it's invisible, how do you know it's red? Because, it's kind of contradicted. It's like giving a color to something you say is invisible. It's kind of like, it's kind of, contradictory. And then another guy, soldier, I don't know his name, is like, I think we see him in the last chapter though. You seriously have no sense of romance, man. Since, that's like, romance kind of like the color of love, red's kind of like the color of love, so yeah. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what the color of love is in HAL, it's purple. Do not ask why it represents. And then Princess continues with, the red string of destiny is a bond that ties souls together. Even if you can't see it, it links you to someone. As Laguna responds with, are you saying it might be linking you and me? And she starts to blush, which is kind of a reasonable response. I mean, you did literally just say, start talking like, oh, this red string means represents someone when they are in love with one another. And then the other guy's like, if and so, it doesn't have to be you. It could be as the guy continues talking about, he cuts out completely. So don't know who he means. I'm not sure if that's gonna lead into something, or maybe that's supposed to be like, or it could be anyone. Not 100% sure. And then we say Laguna be like, I'm kidding. And she says, I hate you, Laguna. The red string of destiny. And then we have Laguna staying in the current time. You mean to say you're tied to Nero? The guy, the main bad guy. And then she's like, no, Prince Shura. He is the man of my destiny. I'm guessing Prince Shura is the one people are gonna be referring to when they said, I need to get the hell, get ready for him. And then the Laguna's like, the snot-nosed brat who killed dozens of our friends and your own father, the one who subjugated the Aeon Cosmos to every atrocity that Shora? Ah, so that's his track record. A very impressive one, indeed. So I may need to consider him for one deeper level, definitely. I can see why they informed me of that. And then the prince is like, yes, no one can fight their destiny. And then Laguna's like, looks like he's got you seriously brainwashed. Which is really understandable response. I mean, you're basically saying, why would you be destined to love a guy who killed hundreds, killed your friends, killed your father, and is the reason why the empire is being ruled by them? Why would you be destined to him? And then goes like, I'll open your eyes for you, princess. It's like how they gave, so he still refers to her by the title. And then she dodges it this time and says another group of strings to him, and the ones who open their eyes will be you all, as the strings hit him. And we see her back on the feet as he's on the ground. You will see that no one can defeat the Empire. Considering how early this is in the story, and considering how long Fairy Tail went for, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a stronger empire down the line. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys don't even come close to the power level at the end of the series. If I could say how quickly Eden's crew dispatch of your oceans, I think it's very likely. And then he takes his food and he's like, "Tears, arrow!" And then the princess sets another cage with her string called String Matrix. Huh. Actually, it looks like she wears an outfit of being Matrix tricks. So I get one of that's the inspiration. So then we have, I'm guessing, Laguna saying, "How are you blocking water with string? My ether steel thread blocking everything." Kind of a weird thing, like they're holes. So how are they blocking it? I'm not sure. Maybe it's the manga paneling, but it looks like it shouldn't. Actually, no. Now looking at it, does seem like there is some like fibers around it, so there does seem to like better blocking. Just that in the bigger ones, it's hard to see. So yeah, I guess there's some kind of shield behind it. I'm guessing the strings are like so tiny that you can see. And it pierces everything raw as a bunch of strings pierce him. And then she uses another technique called sewing, and we see him's body like those wounds. I guess make it like sewing left strings. Like you know how something when you have to when something clothing rips and you sew it back together. That's essentially how it looks like his. That's how his body looks like. I'm not sure if that's like just having it inside of you as painful, or if that's like her messing with his body. And then we have the princess be like, "Not even Goodwin could beat me, and you think you can?" So, and then Laguna falls down. And then we see him on the floor gasping. And then the princess is like, "I will kill anyone who tries to get in Princess Shore's way, even you." And then we have Laguna continuing, "Red string of destiny? What a joke. It's only red because it's soaked in the blood." Which is another way you can look at a red string. Like, yeah, red represents love, but it can also represent blood. As she looks down at him. And then we have Laguna, "Sure's brainwashing you, that's all." Which is, again, a more reasonable response as she kicks him in the stomach. And then we have her giving us a bit more of an insight on their love. Let's see if he's gonna stick the landing or if he's gonna fall. And then we have her, "Let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, I tried to rescue some Oasis members. I headed for the temple and was captured by the Empire. Every day I was subjected to cruelest torture and humiliation. Brincher almost killed me time and time again." As we see a picture of Shora and her tied up in what's essentially what looks to be just like whatever straps of clothing remained, as he looks at her in horror. And then we see her a bit of a blush and a little bit of like a happiness something. It's one of those like really like shots. And when she's like, "I think the worst was when he took me out for walkies. He stripped me naked, but put a leash on me and marched me through the town like a dog." Alright, I guess I'll put that under his resume. All the questioning looks the mocking voices. Huh. On top of that, he inserted a bomb in my rectum. And Agua's like, "Stop, I've heard enough." Alright, I will get my notebook ready. Already? Even though it's not the end of the chapter? So, now, I'm not sure if it's the manga or if it's just like maybe he's trying to respond a little more if Hiroshima wants to have it be a little more I try to like light up, but for some reason this like is saying that he sure put bomb in her rectum makes it makes it come off more like a joke with his response. Now, it's not a joke, it's very serious by your mortal standards, but it's a bit weird how it's kind of like made. I feel like it would work better if he's like, just like, if we set a picture of, image of, the would just be like, in horror, be like, what the fuck has he done to you? And then the princess was, because this really doesn't look, it does straight up feel like it's more comedic than it should be. I'm guessing it's gonna be done better in the anime, but we'll see. And now the princess responds to him, no, you will listen. This went on for days. And then I realized how lonely he was. Huh? I don't think you put I don't think you put a bomb in a woman's rectum if you're lonely. If you're even marching through her like a dog is also something that we don't consider to be, is not exactly considered to be lonely. It just shows how demented you are and how much you deserve your place in hell. Prince Shora has never loved anyone, and he has never been loved. Not even by his own father, Emperor Nero. As we see a picture of him, and then we are like, eventually I came to pity him, and one day I sighed. The red string of destiny. Is that literal, or is that just metaphorically speaking? And then we have Laguna respond with, there's a name for that, so some kind of syndrome. When the victim develops goodwill or empathy for their oppressor. Oh, so I guess that's where we're going with this, that she suffers from some Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. I'm not really familiar with all those syndrome words, but I'm going to assume that he is correct. It's just some sick syndrome that means she'll need to get sent to a psychiatrist immediately after this is over. And then we have the princess respond with, I won't expect you to understand. You'll never know the strength of destiny's bounds. My dear, you're going to be sent to a psychiatrist as soon as you're saved. Or at least if you are saved. And then we have continuing, well, we have we see a picture of Shiki, Happy, the pink robot, and Rebecca, or the madness of a man who doesn't know love. Well, I'm thinking he might know love, but it's just that he doesn't address it. And then we have the pink robot be like, Master, I'm picking Miss Witch's life signature on the other side of that door, which we are on our way. As we see the door opening, as we see this, not that like a pretty badass shot of Shora standing over a dying or a witch's body that seems to be missing a good chunk. Honestly, half of her stomach, from if I'm seeing it correctly. So yeah, as we see Shora respond with, "You took too long, Shiki." As we see Shiki's reactions, which these are the reactions I would say Laguni that when Princess was talking about having a bomb in her gun. Like, these are the faces I was referring to. And then we have him respond with, I was playing with your toy and it broke. Well, you're definitely going to a deep level of hell right now. And then we get a close-up of Witch's. Well, from what I was informed, the cyborgs in this universe need to have a specific core that they need to have be destroyed. And I'm not sure if her core is destroyed, but for now it seems like, well, essentially be a dying body of the witch. And then we end the chapter with a badass, like a super pissed off, crying, Shiki expression saying, you are dead. So yeah, things are going down. Now, what level does Shora have to go in the manga hell, as I've been alluding to? Well, right now he's going to level 11 out of 13, mainly because I'm not sure if he's gonna be a long term or if he's gonna die immediately. But I would say he has a very good potential of ending up in level 13 pretty soon. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how you. I mean, especially, I guess the only thing that's keeping him if he's gonna end this arc and how his battle with Shiki's gonna be. But yeah. Anyways, this chapter was pretty fucking disturbing if we're being totally honest with ourselves. Like, it was insane by every level. I mean, the backstory that we got, which, mind you, we could still get more. I mean, it wasn't as fully explained how she managed to convince Shora to be one of his soldiers. So we could still get more fucked up shit. So, yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much all this chapter was. I think it was just supposed to be like, alright, you thought everything went pretty good with the oceans being defeated and all? Well, now we get some really fucked up things in their backstories and between some characters. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Tell me in the comments below what do you think about this chapter. Tell me in what level of how you think Shora should I be placed, even just now. And all in all, just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and to see more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.